in module 3 EN 8592 wastewater engineering unit 2 module 3 discussing about the primary treatment of sewage, particularly screening and grid chamber are discussing here. That two topics are given in your syllabus. Primary treatment of sewage screening. Screening is the first unit operation employed in wastewater treatment. Screening is necessary to retain floating matters and coarse solids as a piece of cloth, garbages, so as to protect pump and other units from clogging. Thus, retained material at a screen is called screenings. Screens may consist of vertical or inclined bars, that is bar racks or bar screen, wire mesh or perforated plates have either circular or rectangular openings. The figure shows this is the bar screening. This setup is called a screening arrangement. This is the bar screen which is providing incline to the tank. These screening arrangement filter the coarser particles of waste matter which is available on the raw sewage. This is the plant diagram. Here perforated metal platform for screening is available. This is the cross section of screening. So this is your inclination portion, inclined bar screening. If the floating matters, trees, garbages are retained on the screening tank, that will be collected from the top surface of the screen bars, which is done by manually or machinery. This is the treatment plant unit screening arrangement. So screens are fixed permanently and may either be manually cleaned or mechanically cleaned. The total amount of cleaning may be of 0.03 to 0.08 meter cube per million liter of wastewater. This diagram shows the straight screening bars, that is vertical bar screen, which is provided on the screen chamber. Then discussing the design criteria for bar screens or bar racks. The design parameters, it is manually cleaned and mechanically cleaned. The parameters values will be changed. When velocity through rack is always taken as meter per second, manually cleaned it will be taken 0.3 to 0.6, mechanically cleaned 0.6 to 1.0. Then bar size of width and depth is 4 to 8 and 25 to 50 for manually cleaning, 8 to 10, 50 to 75 for mechanically cleaned. Spacing between bar will be provided 25 to 75, mechanically cleaned bars having spacing 10 to 50 mm. Slope for horizontal degrees, that is 45 degree to 60 degree. For mechanically cleaned, it will be assumed as 75 degree to 85 degree. So almost vertical, slightly inclined. Allowable head loss in clogged condition is 150 mm for manually cleaning. For mechanical cleaning, also taken as 150 mm. Then head loss through the bar rack is calculated from the following formula. H suffix L equal to capital V2 V squared minus small v squared divided by 2 into G into 1 divided by 0.7. So simplifying 0.7, 2 into 9.81, you are getting 0.0728 V squared, capital V squared minus small v squared. Here HL is find out by another formula also. HL is equal to beta into W by B whole power 4 by 3 H suffix V into sin theta. So if it's an inclined manner, you go for this formula where HL equal to head loss through bar rack in meters, V capital V equal to velocity through rack in meter per second, small v equal to velocity in the upstream of bar rack in meter per second, G acceleration due to gravity 9.81 meter per second squared. W is equal to maximum cross-sectional width of bars facing the wastewater flow meters. B equal to minimum clear bar spacing. H suffix B equal to velocity head of wastewater flow approaching the bar in meters. Beta is equal to bar shape factor value of bar shape factor for a clean bar rack are given below. If it is here sharp edge rectangular bar, the value beta value is taken as 2.42. For rectangular with a semicircular facing upstream, it is taken as 1.79. Rectangular with both ends semicircular, it will be taken as 1.67. Characteristics, quantity and composition of screening. The quantity of screening depends upon the type of screen, weather and characteristics of wastewater. Narrow opening will collect more screenings and hot weather shall increase the use of water and wastewater formation shall be more, thereby increased screenings. Then quantity of screenings may be of 0.03 to 0.08 meter cube per ml with an average of around 0.05 meter cube per ml. Screening should contain approximately 80% moisture and has normal weight density of 960 kg per meter cube. Screenings are odorous and attract flies. Design of bar screens. The following informations are required for designing of bar screen. Number 1, peak wet weather flow. This will be already discussed in the unit 1. Wet weather flow means amount of wastewater collected from the house and amount of sewage collected from the industry. Both water is taken as wet weather flow plus storm water also taken for conservation. Then peak dry weather flow. Dry weather taken as the sanitary sewer and industrial sewer. These two sewage value taken for peak dry weather flow. Hydraulic design of influent quantity, that is pipe dia is design. Treatment plant design criteria specified by Bureau of Indian Standard or other recognized agency. Equipment manufacturers and their specification for equipment. Velocity through bars. Information on existing facility if plant is to be expanded. Bar spacing and head loss constraint through the rack and through entire plant. Next point, existing site plan and contours. Velocity through screen chamber. The velocity through screen chamber is a very important criteria for designing a bar screen. Here one problem is given. Design a bar screen for a peak flow of 50 mld. Assuming other data, maximum rate of flow is taken as maximum rate of flow in meter cube per second. So the design velocity will be taken as 50 mld. Peak flow is given 50 mld. To convert it into meter cube per second, to convert it meter cube for mld in multiplying 10 power 6 into 10 power minus 3 and converted the day in seconds, 24 into 60 into 60 is multiplied, you are getting 0.5787 meter cube per second. Let us assume the velocity through the screen as 0.8 meter per second. It is taken from our reference design parameters. Net area of screen equal to that quantity 0.5787 divided by velocity 0.8. You are getting 0.7234 square meter. Let us use bar of 10 mm into 50 mm with 10 mm dimension facing the flow and at a spacing of 40 mm between the bars. That means the bar screen size is taken as 10 mm into 50 mm. 10 mm with 50 mm is the thickness, but the 10 mm is facing the velocity of flow and spacing between the two bars is taken as 40 mm. So here you find out the areas. Gross area divided by net area equal to S plus T divided by S. That means clear spacing plus bar thickness divided by clear spacing. Therefore, gross area in our case equal to net area into clear spacing plus bar screen thickness divided by clear spacing. So, substituting all value, gross area equal to, this is our net area already find out from the quantity, into the clear spacing between bar is 40 mm, bar thickness is 10 mm divided by clear spacing 40 mm. You are getting cross area 0.9043. Keep screen at 45 degree inclination with the horizontal, then gross area required equal to 0.9043 divided by sin 45. Applying Pythagoras theorem, you can getting this value from the diagram. We can get 1.2788 square meter. Velocity in the approach channel, that is slightly upstream of the bore stream, equal to 0.8 into 40 divided by 50. We are getting 0.64 into meter per second. Then we have capital V is equal to 0.8 meter per second. Small v equal to 0.64 meter per second. So two velocities are find out. Then go for head loss formula. Head loss equal to capital V square minus small v square divided by 2g into 1 by 0.7. Substitute the velocity value in the corresponding equation, you getting the head loss of 1.7 centimeter. This will be the head loss when the screening is clean. If it is awfully clogged, then V is equal to 2 into 0.8, which is equal to 1.6 meter per second. So head loss value is taken as 15.7. So to reduce the head loss frequently, cleaning of screening is required. So if the head loss when more than 150 mm is appeared, automatically we go for cleaning. Otherwise, the entire process will be stopped. That's all about the screening. Then move on to the next unit operation, grid chamber. This is the treatment plant site grid chamber. This sketch indicating the grid chamber. Sand, ash, cinder, bone chip, eggshell, etc. of size less than 0.2 mm are included in grid. It is therefore possible to remove grid from the wastewater easily by reducing the wastewater velocity in long channel called as grid channel. The velocity is reduced to about 0.3 meter per second. The settled grid is washed before its disposal. This is the grid chamber diagram. Grid chamber is provided for the purpose of removal of silt and sand particles, mainly so that the same will not cause the wear and tear of vanes of pumps, clogging of pipes, as well as valve operation difficult. So cementing effects are also prevented in settling tanks and the digester by removal of grid. This is the cross-section view of the grid chamber. This is a schematic diagram. So in this portion, this one is the bar screen. When raw sewage enter into the treatment process, here bar screen filter the coarser particle and allow the remaining inorganic settlable particles. Then it move on to the grid chamber. In the grid chamber, the solid particles are settled down. The remaining clear supernatant go to the next process. The next process is the primary clarifier. Grid removal unit may be a grid channel, grid chamber, or a grid basin. The word grid chamber shall be used in subsequent discussion. There are two types of grid chambers available. One is horizontal flow grid chamber, another one aerated grid chamber. First one, horizontal flow grid chamber. The horizontal flow grid chamber are designed to maintain a velocity of around 0.3 meter per second. Such a velocity falls, then the organic particles also settles down. And if the velocity becomes high, grid particles will not settle. So always maintaining the velocity of 0.3 meter per second or less. The wastewater flow varies and therefore it is required to maintain the constant velocity by providing proportional flow weirs, partial flumes and Palmer Bowlup flumes. So this is the cross-sectional view of the grid chamber, horizontal grid chamber. So in the bottom portion, certain slope, that is 150 to 100 is provided to collect the sludge particle. Here the treated water will be flowing out. Next one, aerated grid chamber. It is used for selective removal of grid in the medium and large size wastewater treatment plant. In the aerated grid chamber, some aeration will be created and the particles will be settled. Then go for design of a grid chamber. Following information should be collected for designing of grid chamber. Number one, wastewater characteristics. Wastewater characteristics means it includes physical, chemical, biological, and the size of grid particles to be removed. Design average, peak, and lowest flow. That in next point, the information about existing plant if it is to be expanded. Then type of grid chamber to be provided, horizontal or aerated. Then influent pipe data and static head force main and hydraulic grade line in case of grid removal. Proceed pumping station. Head loss constraint for grid removal efficiency. So the head loss value only produce the removal efficiency. Treatment plant design criteria by Bureau of Indian Standards. Then design criteria for horizontal flow grid chamber. The retention time is choosing as 40 to 60 seconds. Horizontal flow velocity 15 to 30 centimeter per second approximately, which will be followed by velocity is found out by 4 into root g into s suffix s minus 1 into d, where g accretion due to gravity 9.81 meter per second squared, s suffix s specific gravity of grid that almost always equivalent to 2.65, d equal to dia of grid at meter. Then SOR means surface overflow rate, that is 500 to 1500 meter cube per meter square per day. That means per day per square meter, for this much amount of meter cube will be taken for surface overflowing rate. Length to breadth ratio taken as 6 to 15. Length to depth ratio taken as 10 to 30. The depth is taken as 1.5 to 2 plus freeboard. Freeboard provision always taken as 0.75 to 1 meter. And go on to one example problem. Design a suitable grid chamber to cater a town of population 2 lakhs with 150 liters per capita per day. The sewage contributions. Then go for solution. Assuming peak factor, if it is given, taken the value, otherwise you can assume peak factor equal to 1.5. Maximum sewage contribution per day is equal to average contribution into peak factor. So average contribution is nothing but liters per capita per day multiplying by the population. You are getting 150 into 2 lakhs population. Then multiplying with the peak factor, you are getting the maximum sewage contribution per day will be occur. Here you are getting 45,000 cubic meter. That 45,000 meter cube sewage produced daily, that is in 24 into 60 into 16, you are getting 86,400 seconds. Therefore, maximum sewage discharge equal to 45,000 divided by 86,400, we are getting meter cube per second. The before value was 45,000 is find out per day and converted into second, you are getting this much value. The final quantity of sewage discharge is equal to 0.52 cubic meter per second. Assume horizontal velocity 0.3 meter per second and detention time 50 seconds. These values are assumed value taken from the code reference. Therefore, length of the tank required equal to velocity into detention time multiplying the parameter, you are getting 15 meter. Now, settling velocity of grid particles are governed by as an modified equation as given below. It is Vs equal to 60.6 into S suffix s minus 1 into D into 3T plus 70 divided by 100, where T equal to temperature of wastewater in degree centigrade, small d equal to dia of particle in centimeter, V suffix s equal to settling velocity in centimeter per second, S suffix s equal to specific gravity of grid 2.65. If S suffix s equal to 2.65, above equation becomes Vs equal to D into 3T plus 70, then T equal to 27 degrees centigrade. Vs from this formula you can find out Vs equal to 3 meter per second. We want to remove 0.2 mm particle, so settling velocity is equal to 3 centimeter per second. Therefore, depth of tank equal to 3 into 50, you are getting 1.5 meter. Taking length to width ratio as 10:1, width of taken as 1.5 meter. Now check for surface overflow rate, that is width is equal to 1.5, length 15 meter, plan area is 1.5 into 15, 22.5 square meter. Maximum sewage flow is 45,000 meter cube per day. Maximum SOR equal to maximum surface overflow rate equal to 45,000 divided by plan area. you are getting 2000 meter cube per meter square per day, which is higher than permitted as per the design criteria. So take length to width ratio as 6:1. Already we are taken length to width ratio is 10:1. It design is not safe. Once again rearrange the ratio 6:1. Therefore width equal to 2.5, plan area equal to 2.5 into 15, that is 37.5 square meter area. Maximum SOR equal to 45,000 divided by 37.5. You are getting 1200 meter cube per meter square per day, which is less than 1500. Therefore, the design is safe. Thank you.